Hey guys, welcome to That Pedal Show. Dan here.
Mick here.
And
Paul.
yes, right.
I am just along for the ride today. This is really kind of Dan's vlog thing, but I want to learn something. So
Sure.
I'm the one learning here, I think. But
okay, let's put that into perspective. For anyone who doesn't know, check out Paul David's YouTube channel.
Yep. It's quite extraordinary.
Look at the little number next to the subscribers. Paul is phenomenally popular as an educator, a guitar player, somebody with interesting questions. You even tabbed one of my licks via Stevie Ray Vaughan once.
yeah.
Oh yes, and actually that's
Thanks
how,
for that.
Yeah, that's how I first saw your stuff and thought,
Oh really?
yeah, and then it's like I started checking the stuff out. It's like, oh yeah, okay, it was awesome. So thank you so much for doing this. We are in Germany. We are at Thomann TheGigRig University 2019.
It is.
We're surrounded by pianos, which is lovely. There's an air of confidence and musicality around.
Well, the thing is, it's a guitar thing. So
Right.
the most quietest room in here is the piano room.
There you go.
I want to give everyone an update on my piano lesson so far.
Oh yeah.
Okay, here's how far I've got. Okay?
No. Here.
Scaffold! That's as far as I've got. I've learnt the chords to Skyfall.
Lovely.
Or
Great song.
I haven't learned the chords to Skyfall. For anyone who doesn't know, it's by Belle.
Yeah.
By Dell.
Swearing British singer. Right, come on, what are we doing, Dan?
Right.
I'm going to walk around the cameras every now and again just to check they're recording.
Okay.
all right?
Cool. So I have a question for you, sir. One of your things as an educator, and you're teaching people how to do stuff, right? What I'm really interested in, because I'm on this journey at the moment with my guitar playing, and I'm trying to get more things under my fingers. I'm trying to increase my harmonic knowledge and my relationship with chords, and I'm trying to expand all this. What methods do you find work well when when people are trying to learn something new, trying to stretch what they know?
Okay. That is a very difficult question. Because what I come to find is that there are so many different people and each one learns differently. That's really what I learned when I was teaching private lessons.
Okay.
So where you would explain like just a 1-4-5 chord to someone like G, C, D, and they were like mind blown. Wow, oh, so you can do it in A as well. 1-4-5, if the key is different. But then the other one was like, yeah, okay, 1-4-5, okay. It's way too abstract for people.
Okay.
Right? And I'm really into the abstract learning things. So I love seeing like connections and seeing things like in my mind and transpose my mind to the fretboard.
Okay.
That's basically how I play. That's my thing.
So you're seeing this mentally before your fingers hit the guitar.
I hope so.
Right. Okay.
It's good if it doesn't, because then you're playing very freely, and that's what you in the end want to achieve. But at first, I learned it by really visualizing it in my head, and then projecting that thought on the guitar. So if I learn a new lick, I want to see it in the context of which is played in the key, or so you can use it in each key. You can play it on each string, on each fret. Use it like, if you know it starts on a third, you know if you want the lick to be minor, you just move the first note one step down and you can keep the rest the same, for example.
Okay.
So for me, it's way more beneficial to learn one thing and see the context, see each note, and then you can use all little things so many ways.
Underlying all of this sounds like you've studied.
Yeah, I did.
Officially?
Yeah. I have a degree.
Okay.
Oh wow.
It really gets you nowhere. I mean,
Only gets you 1.1 million YouTube subscribers.
Well, I could have done that without a degree, I think. And to be honest, I learned way more after I finished school.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, because school, it wasn't really my thing, to be honest. I'm brutally honest over here. It's a great place, and I think for a lot of people it has been a really great place, but it wasn't really my place at the time. I think I went to there a little too early. So I remember doing audition, and I was like browsing the books, like, what is an E7 chord? Oh, it's 1, 3, 5, flat 7. I didn't know, because I only played Metallica.
Yeah.
I only played.
Wow.
Well, I still don't know. That's the interesting thing.
Yeah.
You know?
And you
know.
Not really.
Well,
I didn't know that.
You know, but you don't know the name.
Exactly. So do you mind if I focus your first question?
Of course.
If you're teaching, so you said everyone's different, right?
Yeah.
If I'm assuming that your approach to an absolute beginner is very different than your approach would be to somebody like me and Dan, who are down the road a little bit.
Yeah.
And the common thing that we all want to do, which is what you said, is break out of the stuff you know and expand it. So maybe if we focus in a little bit on that, that's what you're trying to get to, isn't it? How would you approach someone like Dan?
Oh, well, to me, I can't teach you anything, I think. I mean, you're a brilliant player. Really, I do. So I would just don't do it. But if you like, put a gun to my head. Okay. The way I do it, and I think it's the best way, is just listen to guys you want to be like.
Okay.
I mean, if you hear something and you're like, oh, dude, that sounds so brilliant, play the songs he plays. And you're just picking up things he does. So, for example, a very good example, Josh Smith, he was on your show.
Honk.
Oh, man.
I mean...
Honk, honk.
Honk, honk, big time. So, and I thought, I learned so much from him already. Like, I figured out this one blues thing, 12 bars. I mean, I learned so many things from just these 12 bars. Only 12 bars, not the 12-bar blues, just 12 bars. And also, it changed my sound. Because his sound is so mad. Of course, he plays like thick strings, but also the Les Paul sound, the really massive, like just he plays like. You know, it's not interesting. This sound.
Sorry, making a bit more.
We've got Paul wet dry through 2 Katana minis. Just
so cool
because we can't do anything by half.
Yeah. Okay. So on the Les Paul, that makes me like, oh yeah.
Yeah. Right.
But on a telly, I would do something different. And on a Strat, I would do something different.
Right, wow.
So the Les Paul, which I really enjoyed because I saw like Josh Smith play it and it sounded great, him doing it. I played it because, I want to sound a little bit the same. But then I ended up playing differently because the Les Paul makes you sound different too.
Right.
So, it could also be like grab a different guitar for once. So maybe you could have a Strat instead of a telly.
I know, this is an arresting image.
Yeah, it
Quite
is.
apart from the shocking red and pink, which is
beautiful.
It is gorgeous.
This is good to see Dan with this track.
And we both have a neck like unfinished or like worn.
Butters, my butterscotch telly, has this exact neck.
Oh,
It feels identical. It's amazing. But yeah, I love
guitar.
that guitar. I absolutely love it.
But I think people like overestimate the differences in guitar, that the sound, because you can get a lot of sounds out of the out of the telly.
Yeah.
I mean, you can just whack like the bridge and just roll down the treble a bit if it's too much, and it sounds mega. Just if you put on overdrive, it sounds just mega fat. Oh, it's wired. Oh no, it does something.
Okay.
Funny one. Yeah.
There's not that much.
It's a shame we don't have 2 2-rocks or a Dan's AC30. It'll sound okay, maybe.
But so you can work with limitations. And that's a great exercise as well. Like get the most out of just one pedal and one guitar.
Sure.
There are
that's interesting.
A lot of opportunities in there. So.
All right. So we talked generals. What do you want to learn from Paul today, Dan?
One thing I'd love to get better at is doing something interesting over a single chord. Oh. When chord changes are moving around, you've always got somewhere to go, you've always got chords to outline, it's great. But how do you play interesting things over just over one chord?
Oh yeah, that's very interesting. So I had the same question for guys, because playing over one chord is like, it's very cool.
Yeah, but it's
like
hard.
a jam. Okay, so it really depends on the thing. The chord, is the chord a note? If it's one note, it's like just E, like a bass player just playing E. You can do everything. And the more notes you add to the chord, the more detailed it has to be.
Sure.
Or the less options you have. Or
because
the difficulty it becomes.
You can move between major and minor if we're just on the one thing.
Yeah.
But if it's a major chord,
well, you can still play minor over. If it's a minor chord, it's actually way more difficult. So E minor, options are not that much.
Right.
if it's like E major, you can treat it as an E7 chord.
Oh, of course, and then
And
do
the blues thing or the jazz thing or whatever. You can do everything on the E7. We experienced that. Me, Adam, and Mary did a thing like there are no wrong notes. That was like
I would say that there are wrong notes, and I know them. I know all
them
the
all
wrong notes.
well.
Let's play an A chord, for example.
Tell you what, do you want to both plug in?
Sure.
I've got the technology.
Really?
Kind of.
So I think the easiest thing is to treat it as a dominant 7 chord. So like
Okay.
So, and if you say it is a dominant 7, you can play Mixolydian, Dorian, pentatonic,
So what? So
major pentatonic, minor. Or,
so the reason that you can do the Mixolydian, it's a major scale, but the seventh is flat, which is the basis of the dominant 7 chord. Right?
Yeah.
But when you said Dorian, so now that's a minor third. So how is it that we can do a minor third?
Yeah, that's a very well. Can you play an A7 chord?
Yep.
And really emphasize the major.
Okay. Here we go.
Yeah, exactly. So, if you play a melody over this, can you play just like a rhythm?
Yep.
So if I would play major, it sounds a bit cheesy, right?
Yes.
Because the major note is like, there's not much tension. It's just pretty obvious.
Yep.
So play the same chord, which is major. Now I'm playing the minor note.
Okay.
So immediately it sounds, bluesy. There's a sort of, so I'm playing the minor note over here at fret 8 on the E string, on top of your major note. So this by itself, super dissonant, ugly.
Sure.
But the major note in your chord is not colliding with my major note on top because it's a separate sound.
Sure.
So your thing is your thing, my thing is not interfering with your thing as much because it's just another thing. So if you bend it slightly, like make it a little bit dirty. It just works better.
So there's that thing because if you play a 7#9 chord, that's the same. You've got that major third and the minor third in there as well. So and that's I guess with the blues thing when you hear that.
Yeah.
So it's that sort of concept.
That's
so
exactly it.
Yeah, bringing that sort of harmony to that.
Yeah.
Dominant 7 chord.
Yeah. So I think when you're playing a blues, I'm not a blues god at all. But if you want it to sound bluesy, you just have to chime in the minor third.
Right. Okay.
So exactly, that's it. So even if you play major, just playing the minor briefly in front of the major, it makes it sound good.
Okay.
And then you are Clapton.
And what about phrasing? It says if this is a vamp.
Yeah. So phrasing.
And that goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
How are we making that interesting?
Yeah.
How are we keeping people's attention?
Mick knows.
Never start on the 1.
Oh,
is what I would do.
Yeah.
Start on as in the beat one
Yeah.
or note 1.
Never start on beat 1.
Oh wow, okay.
Is what I would do if I was playing if I was trying to be interesting.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
about because I have no harmonic knowledge. I have to have rhythm knowledge.
Well, I think that really makes sense. And also, if you're not starting on the 1, so let's say you start on the 1E, start your second phrase at the same time because you're linking the first one to the second. And maybe like the third time mix it around, but like try to make the phrases a little bit the same length at the beginning. Like
can you show us? So if I just do it like again A7 vamp.
Yeah. 1,
2, 3, 4.
So
1.
you're starting at the 6. Oh, so yeah. That's like pretending to. So that's very interesting too. If you still play like an A7, but I'm playing that note, it's like from it's the 6.
Yep.
So, although the chord isn't changing, I'm changing the sound.
You're suggesting the
implying
chord is going to
something
change.
else.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
wow.
So
Yeah,
even
yeah,
if you're
yeah.
just playing like the A chord,
Yep.
I can just move it up, and I play a D7 arpeggio over your A7. It sounds killer. So,
And that's begging you to go to the 4 chord, isn't it? At that point.
yeah, well, it is the 4 chord, but
Yeah.
even if it's not there, even if you're not playing it,
Yeah.
I can still play it.
Because you're creating the tension.
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
when you go back, that's
Yeah.
a resolve back to, okay.
Exactly.
So just show us that. So
Yeah, so I'm first starting in A, like.
Yeah.
For instance.
Nice.
Wasn't really super on point, but I think you get the idea. Like, and you can do that with any chord. You can also play like E7 on that A chord.
Right.
And that's the thing. Like, just playing other arpeggio usually works great because the arpeggio isn't filled with that many notes because you're just playing usually 4 notes in this case because we're treating it at 7. So you can even, if you really go crazy, you can just play crazy stuff. Like if you play an A, I can play like F7, E7, and back to A7.
Okay.
All over that. Like. I mean, instantly there's a movement, there's stuff happening. So, and if you incorporate that into a bigger solo, you can create chords without even the chord changing.
Because I think I have such a diatonic ear. So it would be like if you play the A7, and I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm going to play some arpeggios that work. My natural thing would be, you know, so that a 2/5
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
But it's so. What you did was you made it more interesting by creating tension by going outside
Yeah.
of the harmony around that chord.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if anyone that doesn't understand that, even though the A7 is a dominant chord, we're treating A as the key center. So I played a 2, which is the B minor, an E7, and resolving back down to the A.
I'm so pleased you mentioned that because as you were talking about leading the harmony and it's kind of leading the chord without him actually playing the rhythm chord, that 2/5 thing is so important in blues playing.
Yeah.
So
And if there's one thing to learn about how to sound more interesting in blues, the 2/5 thing is a great place to start. isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely.
We should do a whole other show on that.
Yeah.
It's exactly what you were
Exactly.
just talking about.
So you could try the same with a minor chord because I just said like it's difficult playing over minor chords.
Sure.
But if you just play like an E minor, if you just play A minor pentatonic, but then and on E for example, it is also given like the sound of another chord. So if you just play a rhythm or whatever, so you can play an E minor. And then go to. And back to E, for example. So just having it A minor, and you can do B minor, and back to E minor, for example.
Right.
But you're still playing E chord. So if you really want to spice up just one chord without the chords changing, that's the way to go, I think.
Right.
Just use arpeggios. And I played very basic arpeggios, just like starting on a root. And that's, I think, the best way to learn them at first. Just I talked about E7, for example. So I'm starting just on the E over here. Like this. But arpeggios are like all around.
Of course.
And that's, I mean, if you see them, like, it's just so awesome.
Maybe one good place to start with that is, do you remember what we learnt in Italy about the A7, D7, E7 straight chords, and you just learn those 3 arpeggios over that?
Yeah.
And that was like a really good basis for just simple, but playing the right notes over the right chords.
Sure.
Yeah.
Just,
That's the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't want to play outside if you can't play inside.
There you go. That's great.
What an awesome nugget of information.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah. So, I practiced playing inside a lot, and then it sounds, it starts to sound a little bit bland.
Yeah.
I think that's what you're experiencing. Like,
Yeah.
it sounds, everyone expects this.
But I love what you just said, because the way Dan started this video was to say, how do I expand my box, as it were. And I think certainly if you're in the blues world like I am, I'll say that all the time. How do I break out of my box? Well, step one, understand that box.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I don't
exactly.
understand that box well enough to break out of it confidently enough. So it's
Yeah.
like, well, actually, you want to break outside. Why don't you just stay inside for a minute and learn actually what it means?
Yeah.
Which is discipline, but it's...
And also because if you need to stay inside, it's way easier to mess up. Because there are so many rules for playing inside.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, it is a really good exercise to just hop on a vamp in A major, for example, and just play only A major pentatonic. I mean, play it all. Oh yeah, so that was. I did that one. It's not pentatonic.
Yeah.
It's like from A7.
Yeah.
So wrong. And then okay, so what? Why didn't I see it? Well, I was playing like, and I thought, okay, A7. It needs to be this one. Just learning those shapes all over the neck is. It's crazy. Oop.
Mate, thank you so much. There's
Yeah,
some
I love
absolute nuggets in there.
It was my pleasure. Dream come true.
Needless to say, Paul, there is an absolutely open invitation. If you are ever in the UK and you're ever near us, it would be lovely.
Come on the
To,
show. We'll plug into an actual wet dry rig.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you can-
Okay.
This
yeah.
is
so
this
you
is
can hear it
fun.
properly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, brilliant, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe, click the bell, buy t-shirts.
Check out his YouTube channel.
Check out his YouTube
The link
channel.
is below.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Have a great day. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.